All right, welcome back to math. This is Module 4, Lesson 1, Part B. Now, Part B, we're going to be talking about fractions. We're going to talk about a half, we're going to talk about a quarter, and we're going to talk about an eighth. And this will help you make a ruler if you need to make a ruler. And so let's get started, shall we? If you notice, I drew a ruler down here of my own because I'm making one. Okay? So if I wanted to make a half, what would a half be? A half would be halfway in between the 0, which is here, right, and 1. So let's go ahead and do that, and then I'm going to mark it as a half. I hope I can do this, but I think I can, and I think you can too. Now, what's half of a half? What's half of a half? Well, that would be right here and right here, right? That's our half of a half. What would a half of a half be? It would be 1/4. 1/4. Good job. So I'm going to put 1/4. And what's half? Now notice I counted 1 to here, right? Now I'm going over one more space, right? So what's that going to be? Well, that's going to be 2/4. Question, what's half of 4?
8.
What's half of 4? I could put these down and I would have 2, right? That's why up here it says 2/4, because 2 is half of 4. And the next one I'm going to go to is what? Right here. That's a 3/4. Okay, does everybody see that? Okay. Now what am I going to do? I'm going to make eighths. I'm going to put those in green, I think. Green seems to be a nice color. Now what's an eighth? An eighth is a half of a fourth. So I'm going to put one in the halfway spot. Halfway here, and halfway here. Now if you notice, this is our 1/8. Now where's our 2/8? Well, the 1/4 is also known as 2/8. Do you see that? And the next green thing is 3/8, right? So we have 1/8, and then the 4th becomes the 2/8, and then the 3/8 is the next one, and then in the middle, here's a question. If I put my 8 on the bottom, what's half of 8? Half of 8 is 4, right? Okay. And then next to this one right here is called the what? Someone? This one's called no, half's right here. It's the next one over.
It's 8.
What eighth? 5/8. Right. As you can tell, I have to write super carefully. Now what's 3/4? That's going to be what in eighths?
6/8.
That's going to be 6/8. Now if you notice, I'm going to use my highlighter. 3 times 2 is 6, right? And 2 times 4 is 8. Do you see how that works?
Yeah.
Isn't that wild that it works like that? Oh, that's math for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so let's do the next. Which one is this in eighths?
7/8.
It's 7/8. Right, good job. And then my 1/2, what's that in an eighth? It's 8/8, right? What else do I need to put in here that I forgot to put in here?
4/4.
4/4, and that's orange, right? So I'll put that down here.
2/2.
And then I need to put 2/2, or 2 halves, right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, now if you want to pause and try this on your own, this would be a good time to pause. So what you can do is you could do this. We're going to cut our whole in half. So how many pieces do we have? We have 1, 2 pieces, right? So what's our bottom number going to be? 2. And this is 1, right? And then under the 2 is going to be what? What over 2?
2.
2 over 2. So if you notice, I did that the right way this time, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to the orange now. What's the orange? I'm going to cut my half in half, and it's going to make it fourths because 2 times 2 is 4. So that's going to give me my fourths right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and fill those in, shall we? What's this one going to be?
1/4.
1/4. Good job. And then the half is going to be, what's half of 4?
2.
2/4. Yeah. Good job. You guys are getting it. And then our next one over is 3/4. And then this last one is going to be what?
4/4.
4/4 because that's 1 whole again. Yes, it's 1 whole. Even though it's 2, it's still the whole number, isn't it?
Yes.
All right, now what do I need to make next?
8.
I need to make eighths. So I put one halfway here, and then halfway here, and halfway here because I'm turning my fourths into half. So it's like multiplying by 2.
Yeah.
So 4 times 2 is what?
8.
8. And this is the first one, right?
Yeah.
Now what's this 1/4?
2 over 8.
It's 2 over 8, right. Now do you see our pattern?
Yes.
Okay. And then this one here is
3/8.
3/8. Okay. And then the half, if we have a 8 down here, what's half of 8?
4.
4. Right. 4/8. And the next green one will be 5/8. And then this one becomes 6/8. That's like 3 times 2 is 6, and 4 times 2 is 8, 6/8.
Yeah.
Kind of cool. And then our last green one right here is 7/8, and then we have our 8 here, right?
Yeah.
What goes over the top?
8.
8, because when you have the same number on the top as you have on the bottom, that means 1 whole. Remember that from a lesson a couple of times ago? All right, so if you can keep doing this all the way until you are done with your ruler, you'll have a good understanding of fractions, at least for halves, fourths, and eighths. And I know it sounds like a lot of work, but it's not as much work as you think. It'll only take an hour. And you'll remember your ruler, and you'll remember how to read one. So keep trying, okay? And if you don't understand this, just go back to the beginning and try it again. All right, I love math.